The wait and see market. Yep. We're in a market where buyers were begging for more inventory. They were waiting for the rates to come down. What should I do? Should I wait? Should I buy? Guys, this is a great time to buy. It might seem like the world is coming to an end. This is a great time to buy. When the market is in a doldrums, when the market is holding and days on market grow, inventory stagnates, months of inventory, there we go. When the market stagnates, this is an opportunity, right? Look, I get it. It's scary. I had a meeting with a buyer Friday, and they're like, well, we're not ready financially yet, but I think this is a good time to buy. I'm like, yeah, it is. Totally is, because there's less buyers in the market, less competition, and buyers are sitting there waiting for a signal. And this is your signal, right? Sellers are seeing houses sit on the market for a really long time. The house next door to me just sold at a huge discount. Originally it was 1.6, it just landed at 1.2. There's deals to be had. Now look, you're not going to get the perfect house. It's not going to be beautiful. It's not going to be turnkey. Houses that sit on market have something wrong with it. It's overpriced for the condition and the location, right? There's three things that sell a house, right? Buyers will always buy a house if it's priced right for the market, for the comps, and the location, and the condition has to be. So this, you can read this article. It talks a lot about what's going on, and we're seeing increased contract activity as affordability improves. Now, what's affordability, right? If you live in the Bay Area, if you're not making X amount of money, you're not in the market. If you make X amount of money and it makes sense for you to buy a house, you should be buying a house, period, right? Now, this is all across, this is East Bay. This is fire season, right? I know we had a little bit of rain last week, so everybody's like, oh, everything's fine. No, it's not. This is fire season. If you remember the last couple, 3-4 years, we've had major firestorms. So just be careful about where you buy. Course Gold, as well as everything else in the area, are seeing huge issues with insurance. Now, how do you know if your house is in the fair plan zone or your insurance carrier won't carry your fire insurance? There's a map. I'll show you that. On average, 100 to 130 homes hit the market every month, but only 9 to 15 get offers. So we're spoiled here. We're still spoiled. This is still a seller's market, right? I know it's a little balanced, feels like a buyer's market. We're having to adjust price, but this is normal. This is out of the selling season. I know our selling season sucked this year because rates were high. Timing has just not been relevant this year. Since March, April was kind of like the peak of our market, and then it just died out because what inventory was there was kind of crappy choices, etc. And then everybody's like, oh, we'll just wait until the summer. Like, the summer's crappy time to sell your house because the market is slow. Everybody's on vacation, right? How much is insurance going to cost you if you're in the fire zone? As high as $15,000 a year. That's crazy. So what happens if you're in the zone where your house is not covered by a standard insurance company? There's California Fair Plan, which every insurance company has to pay into. It's at a premium because it's not a standard fire insurance policy. See the red, see the yellow, see the orange. Everything around here is all California Fair Plan. If you're in Blossom Valley, Campbell, Saratoga, in the basic Bay Area, you're pretty safe for the most part. Right? I mean, there's no guarantee that your house won't burn down. We had a fire on our block just a couple years ago. It's normal for homes to burn down if you don't take care of them. So, huge example of why you should be cleaning out your ducts. You should be cleaning out the air vent in your bathrooms. You should be cleaning out the ducts in your washing machine. And guys, especially guys, since guys are guilty of this, and I am too, if you have battery operated power tools and you leave your batteries plugged in case you need it in a couple months, that's another fire hazard, right? So anyway, let's get back into this. Fair plan, not super fair, but it allows you to get into a house if you want to live in the mountains or in the hills or something that's forest or dry grass. Everything up here is dry grass. People don't realize it, but it's dry grass here. This will change because this right here is being developed. That will change eventually, but Basking Ridge over here, yeah, and Los Gatos especially, Saratoga, Cupertino, Mountain View, Palo Alto, which we're going to go into here a little bit. It's the fair plan. So that's what this article is about. It's because if you live in the city, if you live in the country, Course Gold is like over here somewhere. You can see everything around here is fire hazard. We live tinderbox. There's nothing really you can do about it. You can make your house safe if you live in that area, but you still have to pay the fair plan, which is kind of part of life. Okay, Cupertino House of the Week, all of $2.6 million. Not my listing, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,000 square feet, 1944. But you're in the Cupertino School District, so that's cool. And you're close to De Anza, which is even cooler. Cupertino, that's Monte Vista right there. And that's Kennedy. 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 81 years old, on market 46 days. Cupertino houses lasting 46 days on market. It tells me it's overpriced for the condition. You got the old oil heater, there's probably no air conditioning, nicely staged. Old galley kitchen, painted. This is on 5,300 square feet. This should have been listed around 1.5, 1.6 to sell it. It's been on market a month and a half because it's overpriced. What people are going to do with this house is they're going to tear it down and they're going to put a McMansion on it. So if you're trying to get it for 2.6 because the thing, I'm going to wait, I'm patient, your house is going to sit on market forever. There's another house that we saw a couple of weeks ago on Almaden. It's been 115 days on market. It's worth the land. That's it. Your house is not going to sell because it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,100 square feet. And by the way, it's an old curmudgeony thing. Oh, and it has an ADU. Oh, so it looks like they actually changed it. So you can actually build this. That's what they're valuing it. Anyway, this one's nice. Even though it's on it's a filter street. Minnesota's not a main thoroughfare like Lincoln, but Minnesota is a filter street, so you do get a little bit of traffic. But I like this house. I like the way it looks, even though the trees are over the house. I would fix that. 4-bedroom, 2-bath, not my listing. $1.8 million. Far better buy than that one in Cupertino because that's a pretty house, right? This is Minnesota. Again, it's a busy street, and it looks like you're right next to the trail, which is nice. That's good. Let's take a look at the pictures inside. You don't need to do 15 pictures of the outside. That can be in the back end. That should have been your first picture, your second picture. And this, guys, this is what I'm talking about when I say no more than 3 things on any surface. This is Clutterville. I walk into this and I say, these guys aren't ready to sell. These guys are not ready to move. Go back to this. It's a nice kitchen. It's nice and clean. They put marble on it. I don't know about this. I'd probably paint this white to make it brighter and bigger and airier and get rid of that tile. And there's another type of floor right there. This picture right here gives me anxiety. Let me open this up so you can see it. Yeah, see, I know you get the little foreground, a little bokeh effect. That's really cute, but you know what? We're not selling art here. We're houses. Don't do the bokeh. That's dumb. Knick-knack room. That's a walk-in closet. Wow, that is a walk-in closet. So much so that like this thing doesn't have a purpose there. That should have been moved. I don't know what that is. That picture gives me claustrophobia. That's a REWTF right there. What the heck? And you got the little angel there. There's a bedroom up here in the attic that got converted. Wow, that's blue. That looks like it was a boy's room. Overall, I like the look and feel of this house, but look, you're on a trail, which is okay. I don't mind that. This is a filter street, so you're going to have parking issues. You're going to have traffic issues, right? Yeah, now you're selling stuff. That's great. But this hedge allows you some privacy. I get it, but this one's going to be on market for a bit. Okay, luxury home of the week, not my listing, $50 million. $50 million, actually $49,888,000. 9-bedroom, 12 and 3/2 baths, 16,000 square feet, built in 2025. 143 pictures and on market today. Let's take a look at where Tuscaloosa is. It's in Atherton. Nice. $50 million. See, 1.5 acres there. And it's detached. That's good. Let's take a quick look. Nice. I love the gate. I love the pool. Love the tennis pickle rack court. Love that door. Yeah, this is a nice house. I'm going to go personally write a check today for this one. This one's beautiful. Very opulent, very beautiful inside. Love to do a walkthrough on this. You even have like a little electrical plug right there for you. A movie theater. Dude, if you're paying $50 million, you better have a movie theater and a pool table. That pool table should stay. Ooh, I like that. That's kind of cool. It's pretty cool. All right, too many pictures. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Nothing's really changing. Days on market, pretty nominal. Santa Clara, we're at 20 now. Blossom Valley is at 19. We're slowly climbing up because things are slowing down. We're going into the winter season and it's normal for us to see this. However, there's a lot of buyers that are sitting on the fence. I'm telling you, this is a great time to buy. This is a great time to get out there. If you see houses that are on market over 30, 40, 60 days, that means houses are overpriced for the condition of the market and the condition of the market, right? It's normal for this to happen. We're in a bubble, Santa Clara County especially. I mean, look, we're at $15 billion in sales. We've sold 6,500 homes so far this year. 6,200 have closed out of the 9,000 that are on market right now that have been listed. We've had 6,200 sales this year so far. That's huge. Alameda and Contra Costa, they're both high volume, but they're just not up there in price because their houses are less in cost. So if you want an affordable house, go to Contra Costa or go to Napa where you can get something 96 cents on the dollar, or San Benito where it's 95 cents on the dollar. You're going to travel a little bit, but it's affordable. In San Benito, a house is 844,000 on average. I sold a house in Hollister in Ridgemark, which is a golf course, gated community and all that, for 1.2. And it's a beautiful house. It was 3,500 square feet. We're at 1.5 on average. And again, if